US beat El Salvador 2-0 and advanced to Gold Cup semi-final versus Costa Rica.
Philadelphia. The U.S. men's national team is headed to the semifinals of the 2017 Gold Cup courtesy of a 2-0 victory over El Salvador. First half goals from Omar Gonzalez and Lichaj gave the U.S. the lead it needed, despite a few anxious moments in the second half. Here are 3 thoughts from the Americans' victory.
1. US keeps emotions in check to advance. For the majority of the first half, the style and emotion fit El Salvador's game plan. There was plenty of off-the-ball shenanigans, with no shortage of scratching, clawing and, yes, even apparent biting and pinching. José Altidore bore the brunt of Los Cuscatulcas' attentions when referee Drew Fisher turned his head for a second, but he was commendably able to keep his cool. There was plenty of rolling around and playing for fouls as well, which contributed to the US looking frustrated and out of sync. It also looked like it might ruin an apparent 17th-minute goal from Gonzalez that was erased due to a tight offside decision.
The game needed a goal and the US got it in the 41st minute from a familiar supply line, the set piece. Michael Bradley whipped a free kick into the box and Gonzalez's glancing header was enough to flummox Salvadoran keeper David Carrillo, giving the US the goal it needed.
The home side didn't need to wait long to grab the precious second, either. In the second minute of first half stoppage time, a deft turn and pass from Dempsey saw him put Lichaj through on goal, and the defender fired home with a shot through Carrillo's legs to put the US up 2-0.
The US had some anxious moments to start the second half, with the home side guilty of giveaways that led to transition opportunities. Matt Hedges was caught in possession to spark one such chance, but a combination of poor decisions by El Salvador and effective defending from the US kept the visitors off the scoreboard. The Gold Cup host now heads into the semifinals to face Costa Rica, which prevailed 1-0 over Panama in Wednesday's early quarter-final. The Ticos have had more than their share of injuries, with Joel Campbell, Brian Oviedo, Christian Gamboa, and Johan Venegas all replaced after the group stage.
All told, a spot in the final is there for the taking, but the US will need to improve on both sides of the ball to advance. 2 veteran call-ups offer mixed performances. US coach Bruce Arena's addition of 6 players, including 5 veterans, has left it as a heavy favorite to win the tournament, though their impact Wednesday proved to be a mixed bag.
Howard was sharp on the rare occasions he was called upon. Bradley proved his usually adept self at breaking up plays, which given the fact that Nagb was tasked with getting farther forward was a bigger challenge than compared to a night when, say, Kellyn Acosta is partnered alongside him. His set-piece delivery on Gonzalez's goal was critical as well.
But one concern on the night was the difficulty with which the US midfield had in connecting with Dempsey and Altidore. The US dominated possession in the opening 45 minutes and seemed to have little problem venturing into El Salvador's half. But connecting with Dempsey and Altidore was a challenge. The latter was limited to 14 touches in the first half, while Dempsey had 20. Part of that was down to the way El Salvador was packing the middle, but there were also moments when Nagb seemed too content to play the ball out wide instead of running at the defense or finding one of the strikers.
The numbers improved only marginally in the second half and it left Altidore cutting a frustrated figure, though the continued off-the-ball antics did little to improve his mood. Dempsey did well to set up Lichaj's goal, but all told, finding the forwards more frequently will be a point of emphasis in the days leading up to the semi-final.
3. Lichaj overcomes early jitters, has a night to remember. Lichaj's night got off to the most inauspicious of starts. Less than 3 minutes in, the Nottingham Forest defender hit a weak back pass that was pounced on by Rodolfo Zelaya, leaving the Salvadoran with a clear breakaway. Fortunately for Lichaj, Howard came to his rescue and poured the ball away from the striker's feet.
Shortly thereafter, an errant pass created another dicey situation for the US, but Lichaj eventually settled down. His smart run and powerful finish not only gave the US some valuable breathing room heading into halftime, but it was his first goal in a US shirt as well. If there is one worry about his defending, it was that he looked a bit vulnerable against El Salvador when isolated in the open field. But this will be a night that Lichaj won't soon forget. He showed a good mentality to rebound from an early mistake, and with Arena still looking for depth at the fullback positions, he will likely continue to get some opportunities.